Microdose, yeah. Microdose, 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 dose. Microdose, microdose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. Holy shit. New microdose, new microdose, new microdose. I know, like, you got a new microdose last week, but there was like 5 whole weeks when you got nothing. So 2 makes it a streak. 3 will be officially a run. Welcoming back to the show, one of my best friends out of Colorado, director, cinematographer extraordinaire, Steven Steinbacher. What's good, Steven?
Thank you for having me, Kush. Always a blast to come on. I don't really have like another place I just get to rant about movies with, so it's fun to be here for sure.
Dude, I appreciate having you on. Like I said, I consider you a friend, and like we just have a lot of fun talks, man. So that's why I keep bringing you back. I'm not trying to exhaust it, but
no,
we want you on as much as you want to be on. So
I'm always happy to come on. I love that we have different styles, different things we like, and that we have fun talking about, what worked and what didn't for us. I think that's a good contrast.
I agree 1,000%. And much like the last time you were here, we were talking about your favorite 3 movies from the previous 3 months. Now we're coming up halfway on the year here. Now it's just the middle of June, and shit, I don't know. The Flash might be the greatest movie ever next week. Probably not. Indiana Jones 5 might be the greatest thing to ever happen since Indiana Jones 1. However, I still don't want to see Grandpa get socked in the face repeatedly by Nazis. So I probably not going to make the list either. But dude, I got 3 movies here. I think they're all actually from this quarter, but they are all like really solid for the year to date. But you're my guest, man. What has been your favorite movie of, if not the last 3 months, the last 6 months that we didn't talk about last time?
So I feel like last time I came on, I hadn't really seen that much I'd liked in the year. This year's been easy. I've seen more stuff I was like crazy about since then. Cool. But I'm probably going to catch you off guard with what might be my favorite. I'm ready to watch your reaction to this. Did you see Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
No.
It's
not my
excellent.
demographic, but okay.
It's just wonderful. I don't know. Kathy Bates is your grandma. What more can you ask for?
Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is based on like what, a Beverly Cleary novel?
Judy Blume. It's a classic, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming of age story about girl turning into womanhood and puberty, and I've never read it, but I am aware of it.
The movie has a great sense of humor. It's just like wickedly funny, and when it's not being funny, it treats the like tension of being like in middle school like a horror movie in a way that's just awesome. Like the filmmaking's very earnest, it's really well shot, and the performances across the board are just great, like pitch perfect.
So I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about this, but I have seen some funny things online via Facebook, so I don't know if they're real or not, but like I saw someone take a photo of the ticket kiosk, and you're just like, these are the times for Are You There, God? I don't know why they're doing this, but anyways, the point of this is, for whatever reason, that theater deemed Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret rated R.
That's funny.
I was under the impression it was like a PG-13, but like, can you confirm this?
I'm pretty sure it's PG. I don't think it's pretty tame.
Okay. Next thing I also saw on Facebook, and this one I believe is real, is AMC or Lowe's or one of the big movie theater chains. They had an official promotion night. So like I went, you go see The Little Mermaid and you get a big glossy poster,
Yeah.
If you went to see Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, such a long title, on this one specific night at whatever chain, they gave you like a wine tumbler, and I was like, what? Isn't this just a movie about moms and daughters? Like,
you're a super fan, Kush. You have the merch.
No, this is just a regular tumbler. But like, I saw this in the Facebook post. Like, even like went back and forth with the original poster. Like, is this so you like when you're ready to have the talk with your own daughter, man? Like, you just got a little good buzz going about you. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand the correlation of this wine glass and this movie. So, is there a lot of wine drinking in this movie?
No, I think it's just like they know moms are going to go see it.
Okay.
I think it's as simple as that.
Sold. That's, doesn't have to be a lot. Just there we go. Well, I want to say it's finally on streaming, or at least you can rent it on like the iTunes and other platforms.
Nice.
No idea if I will ever get around to seeing it, but okay. Again, another person who has not said a bad thing about it, so it must be good.
if your mom wants to watch it or something, like it would be perfect for that. Like that's a scenario where like it's an ideal movie. I mean, I get you not being thrilled by
My
the
mom was
subject
born
matter.
before World War II, so I don't think she's in the demographic for this book either.
Yeah.
Here's a movie that I did not think I would like. It is actually the longest movie on my list, and you know how I like my length. But at 2 hours and 14 minutes, did not feel one single minute of it. It's PG-13, and it's Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
I've heard
Holy
nothing
shit.
but good things about this. I didn't get around to it, but I hear it's amazing. Like people seem to
Not
love it.
I've never played the game, don't know much about role-playing adventures or anything, but I had a fun time the entire time. Like obviously there's a good chunk of CGI and special effects, but then they like have practical puppets too, where like they're just talking to a dead soldier and it's just all bones and rotted skin. And it's a comedy bit too, like Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Sophia Lillis, Justice Smith, Hugh Grant, and Regé-Jean Page, who I guess is in some Netflix series.
Yeah, no, like I've heard nothing but good things, and just the trailer alone, it looked fun. Like I'm excited it followed through on the promise there. So that's cool. I'm
It,
glad you liked
it's
it so
a
much.
it was a lot of fun. It I want to say it had a good or a decent opening weekend, and then like Super Mario Brothers came out the next week and just decimated it. Like it's
I
now on
yeah,
Paramount Plus and Prime.
it had a big cult reaction though. Like that's a movie that actually had buzz, and even though it didn't do amazing, it did have like kind of decent legs from word of mouth. Mario did definitely like cannibalize its sales, but I
Mhm.
would be surprised if they end up doing something else with that because it has had just like such positive reception.
They don't leave any doors open, but I feel like we could get a sequel still. Like it got that much good word of mouth, you know.
Yeah, that's
Written
cool.
and directed by two guys, John F. Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. Like, I think these guys hit it out the park. I never got to review the movie on the Waffle Box, so I've
Mm.
just been sitting on these thoughts, just like, God damn, that's just it's so far the only movie that I've wanted to go see again in theaters. What you got next, buddy?
John Wick 4. I know you weren't crazy about it. That movie I did want to go see again in theaters. I didn't have time to. But have you
Mhm.
talked about that already? Because I have other movies I could talk about.
I did a review for it on the Waffle
Okay.
Box, man, but I would
Yeah.
still love to hear your thoughts.
I
Like,
just
there's good in it.
yeah.
I will agree with probably most of what you have to say. So
And I get your stance is basically just that it's too much for too long.
yes.
And I get that. And I kind of feel that way about 2 and 3 a little bit, but I feel like the themes of that franchise, the way it is like just consistently just tripled the scale with every movie, and the way it's just become more and more about like the exhaustion of Keanu Reeves' character, the
Mhm.
fact that it was able to like maintain this like incredible technical craft without dropping in quality at all for 3 hours. Like those stunts just get crazier and crazier. That movie
Uh,
gets more and more stunning. It is some of the slickest digital photography I've ever seen. And yes, it is exhausting. You just want the fucking journey to end. Like that's
yes.
what that movie is. And I don't know, it worked for it was like I went into it like thinking at the most I would be like 4 star, fuck yeah, John Wick. And I like came out thinking it's one of the best action movies like ever. I was just
Mhm.
blown the fuck away, like on a craft level, on a performance level. I think everyone's cool in it. It's just
Mhm.
fun. Donnie Yen, are you kidding me?
When is Donnie Yen bad in anything? Obviously,
Never, never.
never. And then Scott Atkinson is wearing
Yes,
the Nutty Professor fat suit, and
I
then
love that.
still throwing windmill kicks at John
Yes.
Wick. Like that's very impressive. Like I'm not going to discount any of that.
And that scene in particular, that nightclub with all of
Mhm.
the people dancing and all of the water falling and like that 20-minute hand-to-hand fight scene. They can't do speed ramping. They can't do all of these like normal tricks you would see because of the amount of motion. Like that's how tight that choreography had to be. Like it's just so extra. Like every frame of that movie is just like dripping in money in a way I was just like, yeah, let's go.
One thing I am surprised about the John Wick franchise, now that we're up to four of them, is like I'm surprised we haven't had anybody come back from like part two or even part three. Like Halle Berry completely fell off the edge of the earth.
Yeah.
Um, but then like Common in part two, like sure he's got a knife in his chest, but he's probably gonna survive that, right? Maybe.
He's on the train, like, I'll be back. Like, that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
It
I
is
would
kind
have
of funny that he doesn't return now that I think about it. Maybe
like
he
I would
died
have
on the
liked more
train.
Common.
Yeah, he was
might
good.
have died on the train. And then girl assassin, Ruby Rose, deaf girl
She
assassin.
did she not die?
She probably did die, but I mean, they can do anything they
Bring it back.
want.
Yeah, whatever.
You know,
It's John Wick.
John Wick. I just watched John Wick 1 the other day. Still holds up. Still a
Yeah.
fantastic film. And when he gets hit by a car, like he's fucked up. He's limping for the rest of the film, even if there's only like 15, 20 minutes left. But like
Yeah.
John Wick gets hit by 5 cars and then gets up and still does a fucking He-Man sprint. Falls off the ledge at one point at that nightclub where like he hits the last movie he fell off a building, landed on the frame of a car, and then sure at that point he hobbled off because it would have been unrealistic for him to do anything else. But they're asking me to believe a lot, and this is a guy who likes the Fast and Furious series. Okay,
I think that the proportions and scale of John Wick get so mythic that it like he becomes the Terminator. He is unstoppable, and I think that's part of what like he has to be ready to die to fucking like feel the sweet release. Like I think that like because you can see him fucking like spoilers, but you can see him standing back up and walking off from the wounds he has at the end of that movie based on everything else. It's the fact that he sits there and he's like, all right, job's done. I'm out of here. I feel like the movies like intentionally are like, he's not even human at this point. He's something horrible and awful. He's become the boogeyman, the Baba Yaga.
He is the Baba Yaga now. Any thoughts about the TV series that's coming out, or it's like a 3-hour miniseries or something? Like,
if it's a 3-hour miniseries that's as good as like John Wick 1, awesome. If it's not that, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I worry with action on TV. Even when it's good, it's like usually not enough for me.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. That's about right. You understand that this movie made so much money now that they just went like, yeah, we're doing a John Wick 5, guys. I don't care how that movie ended. We're doing a part 5. That's in the trades. That's official. Well, I know we're also getting an Ana de Armas spinoff called Ballerina, which also has to really piss off Halle Berry because she's been trying to get her own action franchise since her James Bond stint.
And she was so good in 3. Like, why aren't they using her? Why isn't the mini series about her? Like, I don't know.
I used to do a different podcast back in the day, so I got all these promo and press materials and sound bites for John Wick 3, and both Chad Stileski and Halle Berry both confirmed that like she just found the dude's hotel and started banging on the door. It's like, you're gonna put me in John Wick 3, and he's like, Halle Berry? Okay.
That's awesome. That explains why she shows up for 15 minutes in that movie, like kicks ass, and then is just not in the rest of the film. It's just like this little vignette, like, look how cool Halle Berry is, and then she's gone. Doesn't she have an Oscar?
She does have an Oscar for drama. Not Slumdog
Monsters
Ball.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I do feel like she's lost some of her like Halle Berry should be in every movie. Like, put her in more shit.
Well, apparently she's banging on directors' doors at 1 a.m, demanding to be cast and stuff. So she might be a little much to work with. Like,
I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me. If I had an actress that dedicated, like, hell yeah. And it was Halle Berry level fame, like, put me in your fucking action movie. Come on. That's dedication.
Last time you were here, dude, we brought up this director, and then I was like, did you know we're getting another movie next month? And I'm talking about Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. You gotta say the whole thing.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, not The Covenant. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, written and directed by Guy Ritchie. I'm going to say his name 4 more times. Is the greatest action war drama that wishes it was a true story. What I mean by that is the whole first 5 minutes of the movie, it's all title cards like after 9/11, the United States in 2003 declared war on the Middle East and then sent in 2,000 troops. By the end of the year, there were 50,000 more troops. Here's this guy. Here's this guy. Here's this guy. Here's this guy. He fires an M16. He fires an M42. Like, just it goes into all this detail that is just we're just hanging out with these guys. And Jake Gyllenhaal plays Master Sergeant John Kinley, and newcomer to the United States. I'm sure he's a veteran now where he is, but Dar Salim, and he plays Ahmed, who plays the interpreter. It's a search and rescue gone wrong. They get ambushed by some Taliban, and Jake Gyllenhaal is then rescued by his interpreter, but then like dragged across the desert and the mountains of Afghanistan while just like practically comatose. Like there's scenes where he's just got to like smoke opium to like keep the pain off because he's again dealing with major concussion. I think he's been shot a few times, but once he gets home, the Taliban take control and they're looking for Dar Salim, and then like then all of a sudden this becomes a rescue mission for the interpreter. But he's doing it at first. He's like doing it from back home in Virginia. And he's like losing my mind, and he's on the phone just like drunk at 2 a.m. with customer service CIA. It's like I'm gonna come down to your office. I'm gonna stab the shit out of you, and then like ends up getting a talking to by his commanding officer. Like they record those calls for clear convenience, right? Like for customer service. They do that. Anyway, fantastic movie. Again, did not feel 1 minute of the 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Nice.
Delightful goddamn movie. Again, it wishes it was a real story.
I feel like a lot of the more effective war movies and stuff aren't based on like a direct real person, but rather a real event or situation. Like Come and See, I don't think that's based on like one actual person's life, and like everyone's like, that's the fucking best. Have you seen Come and See?
No.
Do you know that one?
I don't think I do.
It's a Russian movie. I'll text you about it later. It's awesome.
Okay.
Really
All
effective. But yeah, no, I've heard that this movie is just incredible. Like, what did you end up rating it?
Oh, I gave it a 5.
Nice. You liked it that much?
Okay. If I didn't give it a 5, I gave it a very strong 4. But yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
What's your last one, buddy?
Well, I saw 2 other ones I really liked, but I'll only talk about one. Did you see Blackberry?
No, I haven't, and that's upsetting because I've seen the other 3 industry movies. I love Tetris. Yeah. I liked Air. I just watched Flaming Hot the other night. Great, by the way, great goddamn movie.
Nice,
or at least a good goddamn movie. But yeah, so Blackberry, please.
Yeah, I need to catch the other 3 for sure. But Blackberry is just very funny. It's by this filmmaker I like named Matt Johnson, who's been doing stuff since I was like in high school. And it's him loosely telling the history of BlackBerry. I don't really know how accurate it is. I don't really care about that with a movie like that. He's just using it to like do like a Wolf of Wall Street riff, essentially, just like have these fun characters like interacting with each other. But it's just really, really sharp. Like the way it's written is just incredibly sharp, and the way it's shot, it has this like really voyeuristic aesthetic, handheld, just like constantly being shot through windows and stuff. And it has an electric editing rhythm to it. So just I don't know. I went into it kind of expecting it to be like a little funny and like whatever, but it just has like a real unique sensibility to the way it's made. And then on top of that, the guy from It's Always Sunny, I can't think of which one it is right now.
I know you're talking about Glenn Howerton.
Glenn Howerton. Yeah. He's awesome in it. He's like got like a bald patch in his head and put on some weight, or might just be prosthetics, but he's very funny in it. He gets to go off the chain a couple times in the movie in a way that's just like impressive to see. And then Jay Baruchel, who I've always loved as a screen presence, he plays like a sort of autistic, like brilliant guy who just can't get ahead of the business. And it's really fun to watch him like kind of run his own ship into the ground, even though he's like brilliant. And yeah, it's just like really well made. The score's good. It has some great needle drops. There's a Slint needle drop. Come on, you don't get that in every movie. 2023.
I'm not familiar with Slint, but cool. So Blackberry was one of those movies where didn't come to my 12-screen megaplex down the street, which was wild. Like I guess we needed to just save room for Fast X or whatever it was. However, the same week Blackberry came out. Also, Glenn Howerton was another movie by also Sunny in Philadelphia alum Charlie Day made his directorial debut with Fool's Paradise.
How was that?
Very disappointing.
That's what people keep saying. Yeah, I've heard it's like dog shit, which is shocking because I love a lot of the
heartbreaking, dude. Because like you like Charlie Day, you obviously like it's Sunny. He tries to not be Charlie from Sunny FX. Okay, but he does the exact opposite. Normally Charlie Day is talking like this with this upward inflection. It's very manic. He's a mute in this, so it's all facial tics and gestures and like bugging out eyes, and that should be funny, but for whatever reason, it doesn't work. Adrian Brody is pretty great in it.
Okay.
Common for some reason is in it, and he plays a makeshift Wesley Snipes. He got to be Blade in this universe and then fell
Hell
off the
yeah.
world.
That's
He's just
cool.
a hobo. The movie is disappointing, and what's even more disappointing is Charlie Day has been working on this film since 2018. He's been filming this since 2018.
Wow.
You're like, I know there was a pandemic for the last 3 years, but Jesus Christ, dude, you literally had like 6 years to make this thing good, and I don't know what happened.
What exactly is bad about it? I guess is it just not funny?
The movie is trying to like make a critique about Hollywood and Hollywood royalty and just all this stupid shit, to the point where it's just like, none of you folks have figured out this guy's mentally unstable. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just have all these random events happen and then just go like, isn't he charming? He's such a genius. Oh, he's a real auteur. When he's literally just this dude who got kicked out of an insane asylum because the state ran out of funding. And like time is very abstract. Like, it's most likely modern day because people are on smartphones. But then like Dr. Ken Jeong is in a suit from the 70s that he probably got at Goodwill because that's his character. Charlie Day is bust in on a streamliner from the 50s. Just there's a 70s Coke party.
What you're describing sounds sort of incredible. It sounds incoherent, but maybe that's the point. I mean, it doesn't sound good.
I mean, I definitely had some belly chuckles in this. There's a whole scene where like the PAs keep interrupting Charlie Day and Adrian Brody, like, I'm gonna get you that chair, and he's like, I don't need a chair. Like, then another PA comes by, I'm gonna get you a chair. Chair gimmick is fucking funny, but then there's just a lot of just nonsense in this. Like, the guy gets married, he adopts like 5 children against his will. Like, again, at no point is anyone pissed off that he doesn't say shit. So yeah, Fool's Paradise was wildly disappointing. I would love to see Blackberry, and I know it's now on Prime. I thought they were trying to do that, rent it for $20 and buy it for 20. No, it's you can rent it for $7, and I will
Nice.
probably do that after this recording.
Let me know what you think, because yeah, it's very fun.
It's been a fantastic year for cinema on industry.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Tetris movie on Apple TV. I don't know if they're going to let it be available anywhere else, but the movie is good. It's by the same guys who did Kick-Ass and the Kingsman.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But the story of Tetris itself is fascinating, Steven Steinbacher.
Mhm.
Like, have you seen the gaming historian essay?
Yeah, I watched. You sent me that video.
Oh, I did.
Actually. Yeah.
Oh, good.
And
All
I
right,
love Tetris, so yeah, it was of interest for sure.
I've seen that thing maybe 20 times, dude. Like, I'm just fascinated by it. So,
and you feel the movie does a good job, like capturing the excitement around that? Because I heard someone say that they were disappointed that it was about the businessman and not the inventor of Tetris, but like, I don't know, they're both interesting stories.
I think it's the same story, to be quite honest. Obviously, there's the businessman, and then there's the guy who invented. But like, he has to go out of his way to form a bond, and like also not get arrested in Russia and thrown into the gulag. It's they definitely take some artistic liberties, because there are people who are just erased from the story entirely. But you just
it's a movie, like it's gonna happen.
It's a movie and it's 2 hours, and we just got to get through this fucking thing.
Totally.
Plenty of needle drops that you'll find enjoyable. Very 80s, of course. So like I said, Blackberry, for whatever reason, never made it to my 12-screen multiplex. And the same with my favorite movie so far of the first 6 months, succeeding my previous favorite movie, which was the Fairly Singles Champions, which was about the special needs basketball team.
Yeah.
I don't know why this movie didn't make it to my multiplex. It made it to another one in San Francisco, but I just did not want to take the hour bus ride. I finally was able to see it at a much smaller theater. It's the shortest movie on this. I think it made the least money of all 3 of these movies. Again, they were all bombs. But Nita Manzoor's Polite Society. PG-13,
oh, that looks so fun.
1 hour, 44 minutes. So much fun. Fantastic action. It's got a very heartfelt story. It's all about follow your dreams, Steven, and you can accomplish everything. I don't want to follow my dreams anymore. I don't want to be an art student, but you can still be a stunt woman. Go ahead. Like it's a lot of fun. And then you get into these interesting subplots, and Spoiler alert. Sorry, this
All
probably
good.
isn't going to ruin the movie, but I think you'll still appreciate it. Like the entire time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, this is going to end really cute. Where this turns out to be like her stunt reel that she's turning into her favorite stunt woman. She's trying to get an apprenticeship with. No, this is the story, dude, and it goes crazy. Like
Yeah.
this little girl played by Priya Kansara. She's a teenager. She's in high school. Her big sister Ritu Araya. They're the best mates. You know, they're always working on stunt videos for Priya, and like Ritu's a bad bitch. Okay, she's like throwing people through walls and shit. Like the most ridiculous situations to get into kung fu scenes, and it's usually just sisters brawling over something petty. At one point, again, Ritu has abandoned her dream. She doesn't want to be an artist anymore. She's just gonna sit in her mom's room and smoke weed all day and eat a whole baked chicken in front of everybody like a goddamn dog. Like it's very charming scene. But she finally meets this boy, and he comes from a affluent society. He comes from money, but he's also a sweetheart, and he's a doctor. He's working on prenatal surgeries to save the little babies, Stephen. And Priya at first is like, this motherfucker's up to something. Nah, there's no way he's this good. Like, they dig up some dirt on him. Nothing. Like, this guy's clean as a whistle. Priya gets desperate. She's like, well, I'm gonna make up some dirt about it. That backfires horribly, and then she's chastised by her friends, and she has to work with it. But guess what? That dude is up to some shady shit. He's trying to clone bitches in his basement.
What? That's crazier than I thought that movie, because I saw the trailer and it was like, okay, something's going on at the school or whatever. I didn't think it was going to get into fucking cloning.
Dude, when we get to the cloning part, I'm like, this is 1,000% her student reel. This is amazing. I love every goddamn part about this. And then no, it's the movie. It's the story. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is better, but I still love it. Like,
that's crazy.
There's a huge group fight scene at the end, but again, like when I go back to this is a student film thing, like dad's doing the crane kick or whatever, but like it's an old Indian man in his 60s who can't hold his balance, so like it looks cheesy on purpose. Like it looks like just fill in and do this one spot for me, would you? He's like, of course, my daughter, I'll do anything for you. No. It is a crime that nobody saw this in the theater. I love all 1 hour 44 minutes of it. I cannot wait to purchase this and own this forever, as long as iTunes and Disney are done censoring my films. And yeah, man, Polite Society. I didn't get to review this at all. I again only got to see it a couple weeks ago when it's been out for like a few months now. But gave this strong 5 out of 5. Best movie of the year so far.
I'm excited to see it for sure.
Here we go, man. Well, dude, this is we did it. Favorite 3 movies of the year so far to date. All right, buddy, I don't want to take any more of your time here. You've been so generous to me on your day off. We had fun. We had fun as we always do. You got anything you want to plug?
My movie's very close to done, but I think the premiere's already sold out, so I kind of shouldn't plug it.
Plug it anyways.
Yeah, it's People Having Fun comes out at the end of the month. We're finishing the audio mix and some other stuff on it right now. But it's going to be released as part of a feature next year, like an anthology film. So that'll be like the real release. That's sense.
Amazing, dude. The premiere is already sold out. How many seats was it?
It's only like 70. It's not that big of it.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm
excited for it.
So you have to let us know how that goes the next time you come back. And
definitely.
Yeah, I do some things around here. You know me for the original Waffle Box. It is the People's Podcast. You accept no substitutions because it is the best part of Wednesdays, and it comes from the future home of Super Bowl 60. Again, that is the original Waffle Box with friend of the family, Mike Fish. We talk about everything and nothing all at the same time. Dumb World Records, middle of the show quizzes, Kush's movie reviews. We will be reviewing Hulu original Ava Longoria's featured directorial debut of Flamin' Hot. It's the story of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. You didn't know there was a story? There's a story. It's pretty good. It's a perfect American story too, FYI. So,
like the actress directed that?
Ava Longoria, the actress, made her featured directorial debut.
But it's the Flamin' Hot movie.
Sure. Yes, sir.
I didn't realize she directed that. That's crazy. Okay.
She did a very good job with it. She told the
Nice.
story that needed to be told. It's It's a good movie. I'm gonna spoiler
Sounds
alert. If you
great.
4 out of 5 stars or
Nice.
blueberries, whatever I rate these days. Anyways, for Steven Steinbacher, I've been Kush Hayes. You've been you.
Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
From the Bosnet family.
However, I still don't want to see Grandpa get socked in the face repeatedly by Nazis.